Welcome to Straight Butter TV with 3. I'm rocking with my boy Uberjakd today. What's going on, my man?
What's up, man? Pleasure to be here. Well, pleasure to be here in my own house, but pleasure to have you here.
Yes, thank you, sir. I just want to kick that straight off. We are in the man's domain. We are going to get definitely into all of this, and I want to know because the old boy and him got down to some work and really rocked it in the studio. So it's going to be awesome to talk about. But first, let's just rewind it back for the people. There's some people that definitely do know you, others that don't. I want to know where music really started straight off the bat. What got you into it, man?
Yeah, I mean, like I've always loved music, I guess. But I'm kind of just like going on a tangent here. We can fill in the gaps later. But it was actually just recently, by recently, it could be any time in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
But one of my schoolmates gave me this CD that I made back in high school. I think I mixed it on Audacity or something like that. And it was like a mixtape of 50 Cent in the Club, all these tracks I'd got off of LimeWire.
Oh man, the LimeWire days.
And mixed and bass boosted them or something, and I can't. What did I call it?
2000s.
I was really into cars, and it was had a Toyota Supra on the front. It was called Boomin', something like that.
It's when the first Fast and the Furious was
I was fully
point.
into it. Yeah, I loved it, and I guess that was where that was probably the first sort of music thing. Because I don't have a music background. I never played a musical instrument. I never I did music class at school, but I just mucked around and didn't think it would get me anywhere. So I didn't pay any attention.
Yeah, no. Man, I love that you're being so straight out. That's
Pay
awesome.
attention in music class, kids. You might be a DJ one day.
Might get you there quicker. But yeah, well, man, you were saying that you're just a DJ. So many motherfuckers know you though. All right, so let's just flip it back. If you were shit in music class, what was the one subject that you were actually good at school? Or that you did enjoy? Yeah,
I mean, that kind of goes to fills in that gap between leaving school and becoming a DJ. I actually went to uni and studied to be a designer.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Like fashion designer?
No,
designer?
an industrial designer. So
right.
It does not some of the design.
Getting your feng shui going on here, Benny boy.
I did industrial design for 4 years.
Oh, sick.
And that was an interesting final year because that's when I started to pick up a couple residencies at Apple Bar, Red Square and HQ. So I'm studying 4th year uni while playing 3 nights a week in the town, rocking up to lectures 3 hours late, looking like an absolute sack of shit because I was up out till 4 a.m. that night, drinking at
partying and playing
at Apple Bar. But yeah, I wouldn't trade it for a thing, That was kind of my bare. That's where I started. That's what started everything, those residencies, the people I met. I wouldn't trade it for a thing.
Man, it's it's the bedrock for you, man. And it's awesome that it's all you're an Adelaide bloke. You know what I mean? You've been rocking it here. You've been killing it. How was the garden back in the day? The HQ garden days, man.
Yeah, I mean,
bomb.
Still to this day, and this is no word of a lie, and I'm not blowing it up to blowing it up for this interview or for people that are fans of me from Adelaide or people that used to go to the garden, but I'll say this to the camera directly.
It's some real shit here.
That gig in the garden at HQ, to this day, was my favourite gig ever. Ever. And I mean, I've played Tomorrowland and all sorts of huge festivals. Yeah, that was cool, but nothing is what the garden was.
Man, you heard it.
It was something special we had in that garden going.
Yeah, it was a vibe, man. It was really good, dude. And that was a magical moment, especially to wrap up.
Well, that was the thing about it. It never ended. It was just one day I got a phone call from Brendan. He was pumping.
Yeah.
It wasn't it fizzled out. It was just Brendan was gives me a phone call. I'm like, Brendan calling me. Brendan doesn't just call you to call you for a chat.
Yeah, that's right.
If anyone knows who Brendan is, he used to run HQ back in the day. He was the guy, he's the main man. And he doesn't just call you to see how you go. And I'm like, Brendan's calling me. What the? Either I'm fired or so I'm like, I think I've been doing all right, so I don't think I'm fired. But he's like, Benny, we're not going to be opening the garden this week. It's noise complaints. Yeah, we got a $10,000 or $15,000 fine, so we're not going to open. I'm like, So what do you mean? He's like, it's just going to be upstairs. And that's the day the garden died, unfortunately.
You heard it.
But
There
yeah.
you go. Just got schooled. Uberjakd himself.
All good things come to an end.
Sorry,
you know.
I'm going to different cameras here. I'm flipping. Whoa. Right, we're fast forwarding right now because god damn it. Okay, so from the HQ Garden, man. How you said that the HQ Garden was one of the best you've ever played. You've played Tomorrowland. I know you party pretty hard, but you got to be throwing in a couple more stories, especially overseas. What's one of your other favorite gigs that you've rocked?
Yeah, I mean, one of them was like, it was a gig after Tomorrowland, or was it after Ibiza? It was one of the two. But basically, I was like, just finished Tomorrowland. I was super sleep deprived because it was like after the festival, like just party. I'm pretty sure it was Ibiza actually. Yeah. So I just gone like in a 3 days or whatever of partying in Ibiza. It's been massive. Didn't really sleep an awful lot. Super sleep deprived. And I got on this flight and it was on the way to Canada. And there's very few times when I've actually lost baggage on a flight. This was one of them. Oh, so I'm on the way through to Canada. Not only did I lose my baggage, I got held up by the Canadian immigration. So all I wanted to do was like go and starfish my hotel room bed. And I'm like in there waiting in immigration. No, just over here, sir. I'm not going to try and imitate a Canadian accent or whatever, but they're just like, you have to sit here until we decide what we're going to do with you. So I'm sitting in there and that eventually gets through and they let me go. And I go to the hotel room. I know when I'm really sleep deprived because I get lucid dreams. Yeah. If you don't know what lucid dreams is, basically dreams where your body doesn't realize you're asleep, so you can like control yourself in your dream. Oh, wow, and I was like, it was wicked. I wish I could do it all the time because it was actually so. It was like a Super Mario 64. I was actually like Super Mario.
Old school.
Yeah, I was like, it's pretty weird, but yeah. That's what happens when you don't sleep for like 3 days. So
what did you do in that?
So I had a gig and I slept for like an hour. I had this weird lucid dream, went to the club. I was absolutely out of it. I was just like, no idea. And it was like just this little Canadian club, like maybe 300 people, but it was just one of the most intimate, crazy gigs I've played. I'm not sure it was just the sleep deprivation or it was just like, I guess it brings it like the point is like, the point that I was trying to get to is like, some of the big shows are like, yeah, cool, but it's the intimate ones been some of my favorites. I mean, the Garden I loved.
Yeah, the meaningful ones.
It's just like you got that interaction with the crowd. It's sometimes on a stage you're up there and you're performing your ass off. You're trying to put on a good show for like a couple thousand people, but nothing beats that. Just like basically sweating on the front row, it's just
you feel the love definitely, man. And that energy that comes from it as well.
I kind of bounce off that, if the crowd's vibing, I'm vibing. If the crowd's not vibing, then I'm probably just like.
But what's that feeling as well? Man, I was just about to say Chris. I have to say Chris because we're going to come up with the Chris. Yeah. So, but Chris, how did that feel being overseas? And then, people that you've never met before in another country and they've got that love and they know you and that, is that a different feeling? Because it would be a different feeling, obviously.
I mean, I just feel blessed to be able to, to go from some kid just making beats in my bedroom to have people in Canada that like are that passionate about my music that they'll, come out and see me play a show. Like,
rock it out.
I was just, fast forward a couple of years before, I was just in my bedroom. It's, give or take, basically just a couple speakers in a room just like this. Maybe it wasn't, this gear, but
banging our studio. But
it's just the same. We just like tune out and just make music.
Yeah,
and sort of, I guess, to be able to go and perform and DJ around the world is just blessed, man.
So did you get to that point though? You knew, like, when you really took it serious and you stepped into it, like, when you were creating the tunes, did you know that, okay, yeah, this is something I'm definitely going to do seriously and I'm going to take it to that next level?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think this is like, anyone who you have to be confident in yourself. You need to go. Like I sort of got to a point where I'd finished uni and I decided that I didn't want to pursue my degree. I was like, this is cool, but it's not me. I'm just going to I ended up just going and working in my dad's factory, just doing factory work, packing stairs for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And just I would get up at 6 a.m, go to work, pack stairs, come home, have a shower and just make beats until I was basically so tired that I fell asleep, then wake up again at 6 a.m, go pack more stairs. And the cycle continued for roughly 6 months. And as it was going, I was still playing, I think I was working like Monday to Thursday or something, and then I would play Thursday, do my DJ residency. Yeah. So I was making just enough money to be able to pay for my rent and whatever.
Yeah.
But I got to a point, I think I picked up another residency. It might have been HQ or something. I'm like, look, I don't really need this day job anymore. And I rang up my dad. I'm like, Dad, I'm not coming into work today. And he's like, I still remember the conversation. I rang him up, and I'm like the worst. Like, this is like 6 o'clock in the morning. I decided this is like, I really cannot be fucked going to work today. I'm like,
shit.
So I kind of made the executive decision that, I'm going to go balls and all on this DJ thing, basically. And I told my dad, and he's like, look, respect that, son. If you ever need a job, you're more than welcome to come back here. And I'm like, thanks, Dad. And from there, that's when I went in 100%, and it was every single hour of every single minute was DJing for about 3-4 years, until anything really started to happen. I was playing residencies around the place, but
but it's good, man.
Not anything crazy,
Young, inspiring producers and DJs,
But yeah, what I'm trying to say is
be patient.
You got to be patient, and you got to believe in yourself. If you don't believe that you deserve to be up on that stage at Tomorrowland at whatever festival, or you won't be there. You got to believe that you deserve to be up there. You got to.
Man, it's so true. And I have to ask this because everyone's gonna kick me if I don't. You got to tell me about Tomorrowland, man. How was Tomorrowland?
Yeah, I mean Tomorrowland is. I guess Tomorrowland is like the.
It's a pinnacle, man.
It's a pinnacle, yeah. I still look back.
You hit it, man.
It's still crazy to think that happened.
Dude, that's a home run, Benny boy. That's good.
There's a lot of things that led up to that, and it was just like at the time, it was just kind of like, it was like, wow, going to play Tomorrowland. But everything was just happening then. It was just kind of like, all right, we've got like a full tour and also Tomorrowland in there, and then you're off to Canada and then America next week. Rolling. It was just like, I was just kind of just rolling with the punches. That stage in my career, it was just like a new thing was happening every week, and I'm just like, all right, get on a plane, go DJ, try and make some tunes when you get a minute, and party all the time. And I was just loving every minute of that time of my life, just living it.
And at that time, you also you were living in Sydney at that point, right? Because you've stayed at a few places in Australia. So actually lived in a few places.
Yeah. Well, I moved to Sydney when I signed on with Ministry of Sound. Yeah. I was like, look,
makes sense.
It was the perfect time. It's like, why the hell not?
Yeah.
It was good.
Man, how was Sydney over there? Like music-wise,
collabing
and just connecting the scene, man, especially from Adelaide. Like
Adelaide's my home, but
that?
Sydney it's a bigger city. You gotta sometimes push yourself out of your comfort zone sometimes, and that's what that was all about for me. It was just like Adelaide. I felt like. Adelaide's still my homie, Adelaide's where I'm always an Adelaide boy, but it was like, I was just like, you can stay here in Adelaide and be playing HQ every weekend and doing this and doing that, but I'm all for like you got to push yourself out of your comfort zone. I'm like, push myself out of the comfort zone. It was just like, move to a new city.
Yeah.
See what happens.
And how was it, man?
It was good, man. I learnt a lot. It was like
what not to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes along the way, but that's
spill on for the camera.
I mean, by mistakes, I mean not mistakes, but so sometimes you just gotta think first and shoot first, think later, sort of thing. Ask questions later, just sort of jump in the deep end.
Yeah, sick. Well, man, dude, and. There's so many people that we meet through, the clubs and stuff that come through Sydney, Brisbane, but all around Australia, which is dope, and they're all doing their things. I think everyone's got their own little hub, but the internet's like brought everyone so much closer, and rocking it. I gotta ask, out of Australia, what's your favourite place to play in Australia?
Oh, I mean Adelaide. You know, it's my home.
Just gotta rock it. Gotta rock it.
Yeah.
We rock some good HQ shows, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Especially as a
HQ's
band. And you
HQ's
came
been
out and
amazing.
killed it on that stage too, bro. And you even had Jethro out. There was the one show you did, man, with Jethro. You had the drums up there, man.
Yeah.
Like you really, that's the thing I love about you, man. Even with like your production, you've been killing it, and you've definitely changed direction and, you know, switching a few things up anyway, which we're going to get into. But the fact is that when you do your live shows, man, as a producer and a DJ, you really do switch it up and try to give like people more. I don't think I've ever had a chance to tell you that, bro. You know, bringing the drummer on, like, that was awesome. Like, how'd that feel?
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
how does it feel?
It's kind of good. I feel like a little bit happy that you said that, because I mean, I do consciously every time I put on a show, I want to bring something more or do something different, or like I don't want it to be the same as the last show at HQ. So I mean, like one show I had a drummer and Jethro on and Enya, and it was all like all this other stuff, and then I'm like, do you know what? Do for the next one? Me and a set of decks.
Yeah, and
that
that's
was what I
the
do for
awesome
the next
thing
one.
that
And
I
then
love about
the next one's going to be something different.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
I guess you just got to keep people guessing. You know, I don't want to just get up there on any stage and just do the same thing twice.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, dude, you definitely need to know that though, because like, you know, I
Thanks,
play with
bro.
a lot of DJs and
Thank
shit,
you.
dude. You know, and they're all great, man. You know, the ones that hit the stage, they definitely know what they're doing. But yeah, you just add a different element sometimes, and I'm just like, oh, well, this is what's happening, and it's exciting. It's exciting to see you rock it, man. Because like I said, you definitely got Jethro, my boy. You got to come back on stage, because that was a night.
We're talking
heavy,
about
man,
something.
that
You know, we're gonna do something. I mean, Jethro is like super crazy talented. Like, not only does he play drums, he can sing and play guitar and like solve a Rubik's cube in less than a minute.
Yeah, he's doing.
I don't
his
know
thing.
about the last
And he's
one,
a
but he
good
probably
dude.
can.
Yeah, he's a nasty. Yeah, probably flip some shit out. Get all the colours in a straight line.
Yeah.
But man, all right, let's kick into the production game. We're gonna fast forward, man. What's going on right now? How are you going right now? I've already had a sneak peek of some fucking tunes that are coming out, which, man, all right, fire.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
let's
mean,
just throw
I
me
gave
with
the
some
boys
things.
a bit of a demo of some of the stuff I'm working on. I just finished up a remix for High Up. He's one of my mates from Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Just finished that one out.
Came through recently. What's up, bro?
Yeah. He was around Adelaide
Yeah.
just before. Yeah, so that one's just a remix coming out soon. Bit of a new sound for me, 150 BPM sort of, but like not quite hard style, not quite sigh. Just trying to I guess I'm trying to sort of make my own sound when it comes to that. I've always liked the faster BPM, so it's kind of good that like people are a bit more receptive to the faster tempos, because I remember,
you have
maybe
real
like
good melodies, man, that just like flow through.
Yeah, I
You
mean
know
the
what
melodies what makes something listenable, you know, like you gotta
Dude,
have it.
Come on.
So.
What's going on? Are you and Dom having another track? Like,
We've
I've
talked
gotta-
about
These are
it,
some questions
but
I ask,
said
man.
me and Dom
You know?
this came up and we're like, look, the number 3 needs to be something special when we come together. Not
Man,
that
your
we don't
second
like,
one was pretty awesome. Now, I like 2:00 in the morning. I came home. Right, we just got to do a quick story here. 2:00 in the morning, came home, flicked on Rage. My boy's film clips on. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, that
That's
was
a real
pretty
story,
cool.
man. Having your film clip on Rage and stuff, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, that's a sick film clip as well that you did.
Yeah, the fighter one.
Yeah, the fighter one. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat stuff.
Yeah.
Dude. So good, so good. But yeah, so there's definitely something going to be coming.
It will happen.
Maybe, yes?
It will happen, yeah.
Guess so.
So it's wait for that one, you know. It's coming.
Is there anyone else that you can spill out that you're working
Oh
with?
yeah, I mean, I've got a couple collaborations that are like definitely happening,
Yeah.
like that are basically done now. It's just finding homes for them or
Yeah, sick.
finishing off a few bits and pieces. One with Lockdown and Enya Angel.
Fire,
That one's
fire.
done. That's going to be coming out on Jacked Recordings, which is my label,
Yeah, sick.
and it's going to be the first time I've done a film clip for a track on the label as well. Like, and done a film clip like solely just through myself. You know, I've done a couple film clips before, but they've always just been like another label doing it. So it's going to be the sort of First time doing it all, organising everything, flying
Right,
to
so
Melbourne.
You're the director, Ben sitting
I'm
in
the director,
seat.
yeah,
sick.
sort of. But, I mean, not so much. I mean, it's a pretty like collaborative thing. I can't say his name, but Lockdown has had a fair bit of input on it as well. So like he's pretty cool. So I'm pretty excited for it. Like,
it's killer, but you're doing this thing independently. So where are you can you spill a little bit about where you're shooting
I
it?
mean, I'm gonna fly up to Melbourne on a Thursday. We're gonna have a little like secret club shoot. So basically, just like put an invite out. Anyone that rocks up can be in the film clip. Doing that as one scene, just doing some stuff around Melbourne City. And then waking up at like 4 a.m. in the morning to go do a sunrise shoot in a this creepy like nature park.
Awesome, man.
So Lockdown found that location. I think it's called Redwood Forest or something, or Redwood Park or something like that. It's in Melbourne, but it's got these like really creepy, cool vibe to it. Sick. So yeah, that's gonna be cool.
That's awesome. So that's going to be on Jack Recording, which is your own recording.
Yeah, that's going to be it's all going to be part of the label.
Mate, balling out.
Yeah, we're trying to.
It's good though, man.
Yeah,
it's good that a lot of people want to see that visual as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's great to be putting out tunes, but to have visuals behind it, it's just another way to show. I
guess
the art.
like we've sat on this track for a while, and me and Lockdown. I wish I could say his name, but it's a secret. It's a must. Yeah. But me and Lockdown, we've there's been something special about this tune, so we want to do something special for everyone by doing this video. So
got to do it right, man.
That's it.
And man, like Enya, got to shout her out because she sounds amazing on the track, man.
Enya,
she's always sounds
so.
Eddie,
like a backstory onto how the let's
man,
say how
just
this
dive
track
into
happened.
it. Dive into it, Benny.
So Enya basically did a vocal for me for this other little melody. I was mucking around with just doing a little track with the melody from The Godfather. Do you know the Godfather, the TV show? Yeah. I had something of that, and I was like mucking around. Yeah, it was like I chopped up the guitar and stuff into like a different thing. That might end up being another track that I give out later. So just you heard it here first. But I ended up taking all of that out, and you sent me this. I'm like, I need you to do a vocal, but just imagine you're like cooked off your head. She doesn't take anything, by the way, so she's like just in the zone if she was to be cooked off her head, in the basement at Cloud 9. Yeah. Like, what would you vibe at? And she came up with this melody, and I'm like, you fucking nailed it. Yeah. Like, that's perfect. And then I kind of sat on it for a while. I had bits and pieces going around, and the track hadn't clicked yet. Had the vocal, but I'm like, this vocal's sick, but it just hadn't clicked yet. And then I met Lockdown, and he's like, let's do a collab. I'm like, yeah, for sure. So I sent him that, and then he sends me back a rough version of like what this final version is.
And then it really kicked
And
off.
then I did a little bit more work on it, tweaked it up, did the breakdown. Yeah. And that's basically...
Man, that's so awesome.
That's it.
But that's a great like songwriter as well, to be able to throw an idea and, to get into that zone and be in that space and write.
She is amazing. She is amazing.
And man, it's such an exciting feeling. Like, when you make your own track, and you do it all, it's kind of like, it's killer. But when you're doing a collab, I don't know, they just feel more special because you're sharing that, you're sharing the moment with someone, and, you feed off each other and to rock it. Like, I'm all about collabs, so.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. We have some fucking awards here I want to talk about. How did it feel getting these awards, Benny Boy? 2012 and 2014 in the Mix Awards.
Yeah, man. I guess I just want to formally take this chance to thank, if you're watching this, if you voted for me on those years, thank you. They're pretty much your awards. I didn't really do anything to get them apart from get a bunch of people to vote for me. So thanks for voting for me, if you did.
Uberjakd fans, Ben loves you. Thanks. The awards look great in his house. We just had a quick break, and I was like, I'm definitely bringing him in and showing you guys. It's an awesome thing. Ben, look, man, we catch up when you roll to the club. We're friends outside of the music industry, I like to think. Catch up for a few dinners, a few good places around Adelaide.
Bit of Tony Tomatoes.
Oh, mate, gotta love the Tonys.
Half chewed.
Oh, the good old half chew. Half chew. Half chew or half tube? All right, let's keep it there. Man, you've definitely doubled in your size, though, in a fucking minute. I want to talk about what the hell are you doing? I know you're on your fitness. If you follow this guy and you're on his Snapchats, you know he's on his fitness. Man, give us a little bit of insight to the health side of you and why you love it so much.
As we started from the bottom with the DJing, I guess I'll do the same thing with the fitness. It's kind of like, you know, all the years touring, on the road, drinking, it's bad for your body, you know. Yeah. I kind of got to a point where I was like, looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, dude, you need to clean this rig up.
Time to step the game up.
Yeah,
look, we drink a little bit. We're not going to lie.
Oh, you know, I'm not a teetotaler anymore. You know, it's just gonna, you know, you still got to have a bit of fun. But you know, I was just like, look, you know, you need to take your fitness seriously because, you know, this lifestyle will chew you up and spit you out if you don't look after yourself. Yeah. You know, I mean, God bless, you know, Avicii and, you know, the drinking and just the lifestyle in general. If you don't keep not only your body but your mind healthy,
yeah, it's right, man.
You know, it can get the better of you.
Positive vibes.
Positive vibes.
Preach it. That's why
he preaches it. But yeah, so I kind of, this is a couple years ago, I kind of had this, like, you know, this point where I was like, you know, you need to go to the gym, like start working out, like, you know, take your fitness seriously. And
so did you never have like a regular gym routine at that point? Like, did you go to the gym much? Like, were you a big gym fan?
Yeah, I mean, like for a bit of Sydney, you know, I was like just gymmed along with Jamie and like, he's one of the first people I actually trained with at the gym was Dom.
Really?
Yeah, down to Dematic. He was actually years ago, back when I used to live in Adelaide. He's like, yeah. I was. This was kind of
Dom P days.
Yeah. Oh no, he was Dematic back then. Oh, no, yeah, it was the very early days Dematic, but he was just starting out. And he was in the same area. He's like, yeah. I was like, you know, this is before I really. It was the point where I wanted to go to the gym, and then there was the point where I'm like, no, you need to take your fitness seriously. But this is back then. It was like, yeah, go to the gym maybe like 2 days out of the week.
Yeah.
Pretend like you actually think you're doing something, you know, in there. But, you know, everyone starts somewhere, right?
Exactly, man.
You know?
Form is key.
That's right, yeah. No form. It was kind of just like pick the heaviest dumbbell you can and swing it up.
Yeah.
You know, no idea what I was doing. But, yeah, you know, but as everything does, you sort of like, you learn. And I guess in the last, like, year or two really was like, you know, being sort of picked up the training, really being sort of a little bit more
to the next level,
step to the next level. Yeah, taking it serious, you know, meal prepping, toning back the drinking and stuff for periods. Don't get me wrong, I've had a few big ones still. You know, I still know how to party, I think.
Mate, you got to come to an Uberjakd show if you haven't.
But
he gets in the crowd and parties with you after the set.
But Yeah, I just sort of decided that it was time to step it up, and I just sort of like, you know, I guess the fitness bug bites you, and it's one thing led to another, and I've actually just started studying to be a PT. I've doing a PT course at TAFE.
Really
started this week. So
congratulations.
Yeah, I just want to see where that takes me. You know, so I think it's just the whole thing of like, I know what fitness did for me, and if I can share that with someone else, that's an awesome feeling, and that's kind of like what I want to do, you know, like eventually be able to help other people get that same knowledge and that same, you know, those things that can really, you know, add something to your life and really give you some perspective and, you know.
And knowing your body, man, on a deeper level as well, like, you know, knowing all the muscles, like studying to be a personal trainer, studying the body essentially. So, like, it just makes you way more knowledgeable. And then,
I mean, it's all good to know, you know. It's just we'll see what happens. You know, I've got some plans for it, but I don't want to talk about it too much now because it's all early days. It's still like, you know,
he's studying at the moment, but that's awesome. See, but working your ass off, man, you can still do it. I want to jump into, like you were saying before we got the cameras rolling, about being busy and, you know.
Yeah,
like,
so basically at the moment
that's
I'm
a lot to put on your plate. Like, I'm studying to be a personal trainer.
Yeah. So
I also fucking have my
running
own
a label
and you know,
and
like,
also
I'm
DJing
an artist,
and also writing tracks and
exactly.
And, you know,
and have a
running
social
a podcast.
life and have family.
Yeah.
Dude, I love this guy. We got too much to talk about. It's amazing. Anyway, God.
But yeah. So I mean, I'm just crazy busy at the moment. Really, like days starts at 6 and hasn't really stopped yet. So I love it though. I love being busy. You know, it's just it keeps me going. I'm sort of like the inverse. You know, when you've got nothing to do and you're just sort of sitting around, your body knows that, and it sort of takes a step back, and it's just kind of like you need a bit of fire, and you need a bit of stress in your life to be happy. Push, I guess. So, well, maybe I do. Maybe that's just me.
No, man.
I think
look,
a little,
stress like
is good to an extent. You know, you need a little bit of, pressure to make a diamond, as they say.
Man, so how do you balance all of these things though? You know, like if there's someone that's say gonna get to this level, or already at this level and maybe struggling, what do you do for yourself to make sure that you're in check and that, you're balancing out everything? I'm spending enough time on the PT, spending enough time actually doing all of these things, because you're doing so much, but that actually takes a lot of groundwork behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see.
I guess you just got to prioritize, You're never going to do everything. You just got to make sure you do the most important things.
Yeah.
There's only so many hours in the day, so you just got to pick the things that are important, and the things that aren't important just might not get done, or they get done later,
Yeah.
So that's,
And kicking that solid routine, eh?
Yeah, you got to be organised,
And
I think that we kind of touched on this like before the cameras are on that, but like it's kind of, I like the busyness because it's like when you're on tour, it's like boom, 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 get on a flight, go here, play a gig here, sleep for 2 hours, get on a plane. You might not sleep in a bed for 3 days.
Yeah.
And it's just your body's just constantly firing. So you're almost running on that adrenaline of like the next show.
Yeah.
And then you come back to Adelaide and you just like do the speed limit and you just like, it's just like,
just
oh God,
right
like your body just kind of like, it's almost like doesn't know how to react to that sort of difference in like intensity.
Yeah, it is.
And I think like stepping into and taking more on my plate than I can actually handle.
Yeah.
I guess is kind of how I see it. I'm taking on more than I really have time for. I really don't have time to run a label. I really don't have time to spend.
Spilling over the plate.
It's spilling over, but I think I like it. So that's how I'd want to live my life rather than like having too much time on my spare hands, because I've done that and I don't like it. It's just, you just like, I get less done because I'm not motivated, and it's just like you're sitting around, you're like, oh, fuck, what am I going to do today? I'll get in the studio again for the 15th day in a row. Like sometimes, and that's the thing, like
ruts and those kind of bad places.
Exactly. Every artist, and if any artist thinks they haven't gone through like writer's block, unless your name's Calvin Harris, you're talking shit. He's the only guy. He's the only guy that can pump them out one after the other. But he probably he's something else. But most of us normal mere humans, you get writer's block.
Yeah.
And you got to work out what inspires you, and
Man, I remember touching with Crunk on the interview, chatting with him. He said how it was important, like to have the hub that we do in Adelaide, like of the boys. You can bounce off each other, because in Adelaide sometimes things do slow down, or you can get into that grind. Your family's here, and you just kind of slip back into some old ways or whatever. But to be inspired and keep each other inspired, it's good that we do keep a close circle and sending each other a shitload of ideas. I think that's a big key for a lot of people. It's like birds of a feather flock together. It's something I always say.
Yeah, man.
Be a motherfucking eagle. Don't be a pigeon pecking on the ground. So
soar.
We soar high.
Gotta soar through the sky.
High. And you know what? You hit Tomorrowland stage. Boom, bitch. Anyway, yeah. Sorry. I'm violent tonight. I'm excited. I'm fired up with the Straight Butter crew. This is how we do. Ben, this studio, man, it is incredible to be in this studio. I've come here at different stages when you've been making it, to see it to where it is now, incredible. Can you please just talk about how you did this with your dad? And,
I mean,
how
this studio is like literally built with my own two hands and my dad's. I guess a bit more of a background to what I used to do before I was a DJ. I actually worked in a kitchen factory, carpentry, for about a year while I was studying uni. in the holidays and stuff, like building kitchen cabinets and stuff before they'd like get shipped out to a house.
cabinet maker.
So just like knocking stuff up. And my he's done every single job in the industry when it comes to that side of things. And he helped me build this studio. This is I designed it, and he helped me build it. And it's a process, but I'm kind of happy, it's kind of like making the beats and the studio. This is kind of just, it kind of sums me up sometimes. Just take on more than you can handle.
Man,
most people would just get someone else to build them a studio, but I'm like, no, I want to do it myself because I'm stubborn.
Look,
because I knew that if I get someone else to do it, it won't be how I want it.
This is true, right? And see, take things into your own hands. But he's talking this shit down right now, because this is really, really cleverly engineered. The way these are like some pretty big solid panels, but they're all hanging so you can take them off.
Yeah, it's
Like,
movable.
Yeah, they're all removable. Like, and they're so good, man. This is amazing.
If any, actually, I'm just gonna do like this is the first time. If any producers or guys that would be interested, like I'm thinking about getting these flat pack and made up, because it can be done. Like I studied industrial design, so
he was saying it, and
I'm just like literally just haven't had the time to do it. But I'm thinking
Yeah.
about making these. If I flat pack them, and then people could just basically do it. Because like the thing is,
Man, you
on
so
it, like
should.
I did my
said that
research.
before.
I'm nerding out right now.
No,
but-
we want some comments. If you think that he should be doing it, chuck it in the comments
Yeah.
and say yes.
Because like
he
most of
should.
the stuff in the audio market is either like it's too expensive for home studio guys, DJs and stuff. Unless you're gonna drop like
it's
10k,
ridiculous, man.
you're not gonna get anything that does anything. Whereas like that's why I built it myself, because all the stuff on the market's alright, but it's like
And man, this is the
It's
crazy. You
definitely
built
not
it
as,
yourself, but for a vocalist, I have to say, I'm a vocalist, man, and this is like being in a booth.
yeah,
It's sick.
It's pretty
It's so
tight.
dead
It's
in
pretty
here.
tight.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's just a good vibe. And the colours as well. I'm pretty sure we can change up the variety of colours.
Yeah. There's,
I know you can.
there's all sorts. There's a
Yeah.
special type of fabric actually. It's acoustically transparent, so the sound can pass in and out
Man, it's just
into
awesome.
the precious foam on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good colour as well, Ben. I got to congratulate you on that, man, because, you come into studio, it's just black. It's dark. You know?
It's the den.
Bit more of a
You
lighter
know,
vibe.
It's the den.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just chilling. That's when we make the bangers, baby. All right, Benny boy. Let's dive into the conversation about the label a little bit more, man, and how that came about. Because I'm really curious to, I know there's other producers out there, or maybe people that are in the industry that are thinking to take that next level or that next step. Why did you want to take that next process? And, how's it been so far?
Yeah. The
How are you
label's
enjoying
been great. I mean, it's been a learning process. Like anything new, you kind of just jump in the deep end and see what happens. But I mean, we've had, I think we're up to the 10th release. I've got a couple guys that I've signed on for a couple tracks. I want to help them build their build their
brand
sound,
and-
build their brand. I've just signed the next track for Ally. He's a trance producer from Sydney. He's making some sick stuff, real young. He's like 18 years old and just making some epic stuff, getting support from Marlo and all that. So, the artists that I sign on there, I'm pretty picky. It
needs to be quality.
It needs to be quality. I need to
He doesn't want shit demos,
You
all
know.
right? Stop sending shit demos if you are. I'm going to just plug it to any label out there.
Look, maybe it's not shit demos, but I think that I've been sent stuff that's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, this is a great track, but Jack Recordings I want it to be something. There's a particular sound in my head that is a Jack Recordings track, or is it not? And sometimes you have to be strict and not just sign every track that you get sent just because it's good. You got to.
Yeah, that's great. You have a particular vision. You have a vision for the label.
Yeah. So.
No, totally respect that.
Yeah, it's humble beginnings, and it's still humble. We've had a couple tracks. I've had one of mine and 10 others, and it's going well. But I mean, it's still beginning. I'm still learning. There's a lot of stages with the label that there's still stuff to come, and I guess the next big thing is putting a video out on the label.
Yeah, sick.
Which is with Lullaby, with Lockdown and Enya.
And man, you've got some like great artists that have been on the label so far. Like,
yeah,
you know,
I mean,
they've been rocking it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you've got so much more that are coming from what you've showed us, man.
Not only
man,
Ally,
killing it.
Jewellock, a couple guys from Sydney who are absolute legends and making some bangers.
Yeah.
We've got the first Adelaide. Apart from the collab, Greedy Boss is obviously Adelaide as well. He was collabing with Chris Royale on one of the Levitate, one of the tunes that came out last year. But the first Adelaide track, Reese Sifrios.
Yeah, good old Reese, the young
sent
gunner.
me something that's featured some vocals from this bloke here.
Hey, what up, though?
So
yeah, shout out my boy Reese. And Ben, thanks, bro.
Yeah.
I haven't even said thanks yet. Thanks.
So yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, I think I get some remixes done for that one.
Yeah,
so.
man, that's like, we just had a chat before. Like, I love it, man. It's awesome. I'm proud, like, excited to be a part of it. So
yeah, no,
it's dope,
good
man.
to have you on board, brother.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. And I'm glad because we made some shit that I still haven't put out, which is ages ago.
Yeah,
it's just sitting in my vault at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, it's just in my vault section, but it's coming. It's coming.
That's it.
But man, I just gotta say, you doing your label, you inspired me to like step it up. You know, because there wasn't much going on with like hip hop and for me in a sense. And I remember we had a studio session when I was making that track, and you were just like, I was saying I didn't know where to put the songs out and stuff. You're like, man, just make your own label and do it. And you know, from that moment, it was just like it clicked. Like you just said it. People have said it before, but you just like make your own label and do it. You know, you really like motivated me to take that next step. So to see you rocking your label and now all the boys are rocking them.
I think not only is like what you just said, like probably the most important advice you can give to anyone that wants to have a crack at like the music industry. Don't wait for anyone. Don't expect to send a label to get success. You just need to go out there and do it. You can't expect anyone
this advice, man.
to like, I need to wait to like send this record to Dharma and then my career is going to take off and it's going to be like the next Martin Garrix.
Yeah,
you just need to go out there and do it. Start your own label. Go and like pester a club until you get a fucking gig. Like go and like reply to every single inbox personally on your fan page. That like those people that like are your fans at the beginning, they're the most important fans.
Yeah, they said
because everyone wants to be, you know, look at their page and have like 500,000 followers and like be like millions of comments every time they upload a photo. Yeah, cool, but like, how do you get to that point? You gotta respect the people that support you from early days, and if you don't, you will never get anywhere. I can guarantee you, unless you're some like absolute freak God-given gift of like making music that's so goddamn good that like people can't.
Just pops up once in a blue.
You know, not everyone's Drake. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Right. Like, how do you stay positive? Is it going to the gym and stuff like that?
Man, I guess like how do I stay positive? You gotta have direction. You gotta be going somewhere.
Yeah.
And you just kind of just blindly follow whatever path takes you there. And
when you have those down spots in the studio, like you know, like there's times when the tank's a little bit empty. So
for sure, I mean, you know, sometimes you're not feeling heaps inspired, and that's just life, you know. Yeah. You just gotta work out where you need to go next.
Yeah, but Ben, I gotta say, it's even crazy what you were saying before, like staying more busier, doing what you need to do, and you know, not being slack. Because people notice in the industry when you are hustling, man. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
The more you're doing, you may not think that you're doing a lot. You know, like for people not noticing, I'm not getting many likes, or I'm not getting many of this, but you still need to keep going with it.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
like how many times has a label rejected your demo or rejected something back right at the early days, and people don't think it's real.
There's all those famous stories of these wicked tracks that got rejected by all these big labels. They end up being like, you know, there's a million stories. Do you know why? Because everyone fails, man.
Yeah.
Everyone. Yeah. Even think of Calvin Harris. He got shit rejected. Avicii probably got shit rejected. Yeah. Everyone has failed at a point, but you got to pick yourself up and like get up and just like go on to the next one, you know?
We're going on to the next one right now. How did the clothing line happen, man? Uberjakd, like you've got your own merchandise, you've got
little
things
bits
rocking.
of merch and stuff. It's just like, I mean,
yeah, how's that all going, man?
Yeah,
come on, there's so much to talk about.
Yeah, I've got a few little bits and pieces in the works that will sort of get revealed over the next. I know my merch is kind of just like a bit of fun. Like I got those the Uber Beats.
Yeah, I
shirts.
love that, man.
Surprised that it didn't get a cease and desist from Uber.
Yeah.
To be honest.
So no
legal
lawsuits, nothing?
advice,
Right,
no
we're all
lawsuits and
good.
stuff, which is good.
Look, they're making.
By the way, they're
millions,
coming
they
off
don't
the.
need anymore.
They have to come off the store soon before I launch the actual merch.
Oh, okay.
Because Instagram won't let me have a account because it's third-party infringement. So if you want to grab one, you got a couple.
There you
weeks
go.
and
You
then
hear it here now. This is the plug.
Going off
Get an Uber Beats. It's never coming back.
Yeah.
Additions.
Thanks to
Ben,
Instagram.
where's mine at?
But we love you, Instagram. Yeah. Yeah, got to keep it legit, I guess.
All right, man. We're gonna wrap things up. Ben, thanks for having us in your studio, man. It's been a pleasure. You're rocking on Straight Butter TV with 3. I absolutely enjoyed the shit out of this interview. I'm just gonna put it out there and say it. But the floor is yours now, man. The mic's in your hand. It has been for a little while. But please tell everyone where they can find you. You know, any last words, bro? Go for it.
Yeah, I just want to take this opportunity to say cheers for having me on. And it's been good chatting. And yeah, I mean, anyone that's like a fan of my music, I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you for the support. And anyone that isn't, you know, you can go check me out on all the usual social media outlets. Yeah. Insta, Snapchat. You've got most of them. Not LinkedIn.
No
no
LinkedIn.
Not
LinkedIn-ish.
Yeah, not up to the spec with LinkedIn, but everything else is pretty.
You switched off Tinder as well.
Yeah, no Tinder. Got a girlfriend, so yeah, no Tinder.
Sorry,
but,
Christies.
Yeah. No, thanks. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Benny, boy. Really appreciate it, bro. The humble man, Uberjakd himself. Peace.